George, it has been said that this coterie of candidates represents the end of a line, of an era of Gaullism within France, which has been to see Europe as a counterpoint to the United States. Whichever candidate wins, we may see a move away from a clear challenge that we have seen in the past to American domination, to being more of a cooperative relationship. Do you see that, or is this something that some analysts have overinterpreted?
Well, I think I would take exception again to the idea that Zionism is in any way central in this election. I take exception to the idea that Le Pen represents anybody serious in international relations in France. It's interesting that, as we got this long quote from Le Pen, that he's getting into international affairs, trying to find some way in which he can get people to vote for him, because I think that Sarkozy has stolen a lot of his thunder from the right simply by being strong on law and order, and which has been Le Pen's argument. If you read what they say, and if you listen to what they say, they use coded phrases, of course, and from Le Pen's point of view, he's still after the immigrants, and at the same time, he is making an appeal to someone like the president of Iran or some others who, in many ways, ought to be on the immigrant side rather than on Le Pen's side in this discussion. But again, I don't think international relations is that key. I kind of agree with what you say, that I don't think the Chirac exception to almost everything the Americans do will continue. Any of these people who may win, and I think it will probably be Sarkozy, but Bayrou also, who is a mild right-winger, but has tried to move to the left, and Ségolène Royal, should she win, I don't think they are particularly interested in fighting the United States or making their name big in world affairs. I don't think they're particularly interested in Middle Eastern affairs, per se. It's possible these things might arise, but also, as I was telling Michel earlier, I think the neocon Bush approach to foreign policy has run its course through Iraq, and I think we're seeing efforts to get out of that, and to some degree, President Chirac can take satisfaction in having warned against this, but even he has walked backwards and said, look, I'm not against the Americans, I just saw problems with what would happen, which of course a lot of Americans see now, even if they didn't always see. But again, I don't think that's what's going to make the difference in this election. It's going to be personalities and domestic policies, the two issues particularly being unemployment and immigrants and immigration, taking away jobs, and of course, in Sarkozy's case, he has the problem that he called the immigrants on one occasion a nasty name, scum. And he has to walk back from that, and he's been trying to explaining that he's basically being a law and order man. And from that point of view, I think a lot of this has changed from what the last election was.